Hey guys, and welcome to week 4 of Rocky's off the track progress. So this week has been slightly dampered by the fact that he got a hoof abscess. So he hasn't actually been ridden in the last 3 days. And I was really worried I wouldn't get to ride him today because we have really exciting plans to do today. And I just lunged him and he's sound. Good boy, well done. So he has a little bandage on his foot there, which is just a poultice to try and draw out the abscess that he has. But it already kind of started to burst out at his heel, which is a bit annoying. But I think it's resolved, so I'm very, very pleased. That was good, well done. So yesterday, because I couldn't ride him, I gave him a big makeover and he looks so good. I'll show you, I'll insert some clips now. So he absolutely loved his bath and getting his mane done and everything. And then all ready for today, which is super exciting, we are going show jumping and cross country schooling. Yay! So I'm really excited to ride in a really big arena and kind of get his canter going a bit. Unfortunately, I didn't quite get to do many of my goals for this week because I didn't ride in the last 3 days, but we did start doing some leg yielding and he picked that up really well. I was very pleased. So our bending to the right was much better by the end of it, for sure, wasn't it? He's just chilling here. So yeah, today we're going to do a bit of jumping. So I'm going to set up those 3 canter pulls that I was planning on doing, and then making the middle one a jump and working on our canter and stuff. And then we'll also pop over a few of the cross-country fences, which will be really fun. So yeah, I'm really excited. Andrew is bringing us. He's actually going to bring his horse Diva as well. So he's going to ride her first and then I'll ride Rocky Boy. So yeah, I don't know how he's going to go. We did actually go for a hack this week as well, which he was so good for. It was a little bit like wanting to jog and stuff, and he didn't like when Diva was too far in front of him. But then he settled down really well, and even when we were trotting he started doing a bit of long and low and he was really good. And then we walked over a few poles, and then we also went into some water, which he was a little bit nervous about at the start, and then yeah, was so good by the end. He just gained confidence in leaps and bounds. So really pleased. Hopefully that'll set us up well for going into the water at cross country today. Hopefully he'll kind of remember what he did earlier in the week and realise it wasn't so scary after all, wasn't it? Give me kisses. He loves kisses. He's a smooch. Okay, we were meant to be leaving at 9. And it's now 9 and Andrew hasn't even gotten his horse in yet, so I don't know. But I was here on time. So yeah, we're gonna go load up the horses now and yes, off we go. All right, Rocky, you ready to go? Good boy, look at you, you look so good. I'm gonna take off the foot wrap when we start riding. Just we'll stop any more dirt getting in there while we're waiting to go. Oh, good boy. He's got his new head collar on. Very pretty. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, we'll load up now and we'll head off. Alrighty, we're here. Fun fact, I won this hay bag at a show on Diva last year. And I'm finally getting to use it. Just kind of gave it to Andrew while I was gone. You go, boy Rocky. Okay, I'm gonna go help Andrew set up some poles. Oh, you're so damn cute. Now we are ready to go. Got our lovely Mackie Numna. Thank you, Mackie, for sending that on. Ready to rock. Hey guys, so I thought I'd just pop on here for a bit of a voiceover, just because this day is definitely a little bit mixed. We have a lot of, lots of little issues, but then I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk about what I'm doing to try and fix them, and also just to be super transparent with you guys. So here I'm just warming up. He obviously hasn't been ridden in a couple of days, and it's a new place for him, so all things considered, I was pretty happy with how he warmed up. He's tossing his head a little bit, he's getting a bit excited, but as a whole, he is listening to me. And this is only going to get better and better, and I do feel like if I had ridden him the last 3 days, he would have been much, much better. So yeah, considering that, I was very pleased. So we just have a few jumps set out. I was kind of intending to do a little course, but you will see that we don't end up doing that. So I just decided to trot him over the poles first. So here we are trotting up to the first one, and he does a big jump over it. But this is an improvement because, as you guys would have seen in previous update videos, he used to be so afraid he wouldn't go over the poles. So, he's going over them, he's jumping over it, that's fine. I give him a pat afterwards, he's allowed to jump over it. He's just not allowed to gallop off afterwards, which he didn't do. So I was pleased. So then I come around and I trot over some other poles. And each one he gets a little bit nervous, but he gets braver and braver as we go along, and it takes less encouragement to get him over them. He does do a little jump over each of them, but that's okay. I don't mind him being careful. Hopefully it translates to the jumping, which it doesn't today, you will see, but as he gets his confidence, I think that he will be a careful little jumper. So here I'm trotting over, more of these. So that's the second time going over it, and he was a lot more calm. Did just throw the head a little bit afterwards, but came back to me straight away. So happy enough with that. So I set out 3 canter poles, and here I am just trotting over them before I canter over them to get him used to them. I think he responds quite well when there's more than one pole. It kind of stops him running off after the fence and just slows him down, gets him thinking about it. You can definitely see there he really thought about the poles and slowed down. And we come over these ones, bit of a tight turn, spooked a little bit the jacket, but all learning for him. I just keep the contact until he relaxes, and then I soften my hand and he tries to run off afterwards, and I just have to slow him down and say, whoa, now you can't just try and run off. So here is struggle number 1 of the day, which was cantering on the left lead. Really funny because when he was a racehorse, he trained galloping to the left. So it's kind of funny that he will not canter to the left. The only way I can get a left lead canter is when his head is completely out to the right. And as you can see here, he is just pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And my arms killed me the next day from all the pulling. And there you could see I loosened the contact for just a second, and he just tried to take right off, and I gave him a right pull, and he's like a tank. He would not stop. I legitimately can't stop in these clips, but he's not galloping off either, so I'm just kind of like, I'll just ride it out. And I'm slowly trying to get him to not even bend to the left, just be straight in his neck and his body. But he just finds it so difficult. He can only really get his balance in the canter if his head is bent to the right. There I cantered over the pole, and to be fair, he didn't gallop off afterwards. He was just as strong as he was coming into it, so that was, I suppose, an improvement. So we just canter around a bit more. I'm just trying desperately to get any sort of a softening on the left rein, but it's just so hard. And You'll see in a bit I try and circle him to the left and he just can't. He just rides through it, and I just have to stop him there actually, because he just is tanking off of me with I just have no, like, he's no mouth. So we come around again, and to be fair to him, I think he was a little bit better this time after we halted after the poles the previous time. Yeah, so he came back to me a little bit. So then I say, screw this, I cannot ride this horse, so let's just pop him on a circle, keep him bent to the left. He's going to lose his balance, which he is here. You can see me speeding up, he's kind of stumbling, he doesn't have a very good balance at all, but I said I'll just sit quiet, let him figure out his own balance. So we just ride around the circle, and he does soften a little bit, and he does start bending to the left a little bit, so we do have a little bit of improvement there. And I'm just talking to him the whole time, trying to get him to relax and just soften that neck. But to be fair to him, he just doesn't have the balance in the canter, and when he loses balance it gives him a fright, which is totally fair enough. So it's just something that we're going to work on loads this week. So much cantering. So I rode him on the straight and he kind of went all hard on the left rein again, so I just popped him into a circle, and this circle is so not good. Like I just can barely turn him. It's like a handbrake turn. So yeah, loads of room for improvement. Spoiler, it does not get fixed in the session. This is our starting point, and that's what we have to work on. On the right rein, a lot better, a lot more balanced, a lot softer in the rein. I can actually turn him right, which is nice, and he's not absolutely dragging me as much. Then we canter over these poles, which was good. It's a little bit hard to turn him right. He just falls through the corner, through the shoulder a little bit, but getting there, and he does come back to trot for me, which is quite nice. So then it's time to jump a fence, and this is where our problem number 2 comes in, which is he just knocks every pole in the joint. There, I have no idea what he's spooking at when he jumps these jumps on the right rein, because he cantered over on the poles and nothing changed, and somehow when there's a jump there he has a big spook and jumps off to the left. So I guess all I really wanted in this session was for him to stay in the same rhythm before and after the fence, which he does to some extent, so that's good. You can see in a situation like that, if he doesn't meet the pole right or the jump right, he just has no idea what to do. He just kind of runs through it with his legs everywhere. He just doesn't have that figured out yet, but again, that will come with time. So here we canter over the pole. It's a little bit wild. I'm trying to just sit as quiet as I can, but it does come to a point where I do have to just be like, whoa now, slow down there. So we come around again. So we hit with a nice stride, but he's just, he gets distracted and he's all a bit tense, so he doesn't even lift up his back legs there. He just kind of trails it through the fence. Here he's still jumping off to the left. He's just knocking the jumps. Yeah, he just knocks the jumps quite a bit, but you'll see in the very last jump that he does kind of start to get it. Like, that was a good one there. He genuinely tried to do something different to not hit the pole. So I said, good boy, and we changed the rein. And then we changed it to the left rein, and that was fairly good, except he ran off of me afterwards, which I was a bit annoyed about. Then we come again. If we don't get the good stride, it's just mayhem, legs everywhere. So then we jumped that jump, which was okay. And then I'll talk about it later, but then we take away the canter poles and he jumps a brilliant jump. So then we move on to cross country, and this is problem number 3, is that he is very afraid of very small logs. So to be fair, I probably should have showed it to him first, but I just kind of wanted to test out his reaction, just his honest first reaction to just being pointed at something, and it was to run away from it. So I walked him up to it there, showed it to him. He actually tried to walk over it, but I said, no, well, now we'll just come back and we'll trot up to it. And he gives me a brilliant jump here. Like, that's a really, really nice jump.
Very nice.
This got me a little bit excited. So then we moved on to the next thing, which was the water.
Unfortunately, he does not remember very well the water on our hack because he found this very, very scary. His kind of go-to reaction is just to run sideways and completely ignore my rein, like you can see there, and nearly run poor Andrew over. I just keep my hands wide, I just keep pointing him towards the water, and every time he moves towards it I release the pressure a little bit, and you'll see here in a second he puts his little foot in it and I stop and I give him a good big pat there. I'm like, good boy, just for relaxing for a second. And we just keep moving there. He puts his foot in the water, so I give him a pat. I reward him, but he gets a fright and he says, no. I don't want to go near that water. So we just keep going, does a little bit of leg, puts his foot in, I give him a pat. And then in a second we go in, and he goes in, and I give him a pat, but then the splash gives him a fright. But I gave him loads of pats because he went in, that's what I asked. So we walk around again. Well, I try and walk, but he wants to trot. Walk around, looking up, not looking at the water. Yeah, and he walks straight in, really good. Loads and loads of pats and loads of good boys. And then while we're on the roll, I just turn around and walk back in the other way, and he walks back in, and he never has a problem after that. Just they're funny, once they go in once, they're like, oh, that was totally fine. And then he gets really brave and he'll trot in and out, and yeah, he was very good. So he just needs to learn through these experiences that when I ask him to go somewhere, the better answer is just to go in, and I'm not going to ask him to do anything he's not able to do. So now we go over this little tiny log, and he runs out. So I just turn him straight back around and jump over it backwards. And this is my second time, and he goes straight over it. So I think he was a little bit messing there. He didn't really want to go, but kind of got after him a little bit, and he went straight over it. Here we're afraid of the tires. Again, the side to side is his go-to evasion, and then he comes back over it perfectly. This is where things start to look up. We go over a ditch, and I was sure he'd have a big look in this and a big fright, but I just kept my eyes up and he just jumped straight over it. So ditches are not a problem for Rocky. And it's kind of after this moment that his confidence just gets better and better, and he kind of starts to get it, and he starts to realise, oh, this isn't too bad. Here we're trotting over this little jump, and he just pops over it first time, which I was really, really pleased about. That's the first jump that he jumps first time. Then we come around to these, and again, he jumps it first time. So he just seems to, his confidence really grows throughout it. It was the first 3 kind of obstacles that he was like, oh, I'm not sure about that. And then once he kind of realised that, oh, they weren't so bad, he gets really game. Here he gets a big fright, but I'm so proud of him there. I give him loads of pats because although he's underneath it, he tried. He went over it. And then we come back again, and he does a bit of a funky jump. And then we jump it once more after this, but we get a picture actually, not a video. Here we're going down steps, which again, thought he might look, and he was a pro.
Oh, look at that.
It was an interesting day.
Walking a very sweaty boy off after he was actually quite good. This was a very mixed day. It started quite poor, and then he just kind of got it. Didn't you, Rocky? Very good. Oh, clever boy. Now Rocky is all hosed off, feeling fresh, ready to go again probably, by the look on his face. You're such an idiot. He speaks at himself in the reflection of the glass. That's where he's speaking at. So good boy, Rocky. I'll chat to you guys properly when we're done, but now Andrew is going to ride Diva and jump her, so I'll get some videos for him, and then we'll head home. Home sweet home for Rocky boy. Yes. Oh, you're so glad. Oh, yawn. You tired? That big day? Don't worry, you'll have a day or 2 off now to think about what you learned. Oh, he's smiling. Oh, look at the shine, guys. He's finally shiny now after his bath. You look cute. Hey guys, so it's the next day after cross country, but I just thought I'd give you a little bit of a roundup of the week and let you know, just kind of summarize what we did. So I'm just walking down to Rocky now because I've been filling up his water and it's almost full. Alrighty, so yeah, what we did with Rocky this week. Oh dear, this is like really nearly full. God, look at the gorgeous sky behind me. So what did we do with Rocky this week? Yeah, he had that foot abscess, so I didn't get to ride him so much. I did do a little bit of flat work, a little bit of teaching him to bend left and right, which he was a lot better at. He's really getting the contact as well. He's very good at like relaxing and yeah, stretching down into the contact. Then on Sunday we brought him show jumping at cross country schooling, and I'll start with the flat work first. And there's Rosie. Rocky is here eating behind me. So we'll start with the flat work. The flat work left a lot to be desired, but he hadn't been ridden in 3 days and he was actually fairly reasonable for being fresh, never like first time kind of schooling off property, even though obviously he's gone like training when he was a racehorse. But yeah, my first time bringing him off property. Yeah, I thought he was very, very reasonable in the trot. He was good. Then we cantered. We haven't done like any cantering really at home. And yeah, on the right rein, he's pretty good. On the left rein, oh dear. He'll only canter on the left lead if his neck is completely bent to the right. And he'll only physically feels like he cannot canter on the left rein bent to the left or even straight. He has to be bent to the right. And I couldn't even turn him in a circle barely on the left rein. So after him just kind of running off on me and not listening at all, I did end up doing a few circles and just sticking him on a circle, and he almost fell over. He had no balance at all and he really, really struggled to canter on the left rein. Even though in Victoria, racehorses race running left, so I have no idea why that is a thing with him, but my friend said that their thoroughbred also had that issue, which is strange. But anyway, so that's something definitely to work on, and it is something I'm going to work on all this week. I'm going to canter him on the lunge a lot. I feel like he just needs to learn to find that balance, and with me not on him, it means I can't put him off or, you know, inadvertently kind of set him off balance. It means that it's all up to him. I'll have the strings on him just so that he is trying to get that balance while in a sort of frame. But yeah, I just need him to learn to find that balance in the canter, and it does mean that he'll just be super speedy for a while, but once he finds that balance he'll be able to slow down and yeah, hold himself a little bit better. So then on to the jumping. We knocked a lot of poles. I did put the canter pole either side of the fence to help him with his rhythm, which did actually help quite a bit. To be fair, although he knocked the poles quite a lot, his rhythm was fairly good. He wasn't galloping off on me like he was last week. And this is only his second time jumping. I haven't jumped him since those last clips where he was just completely galloping off. So I was really happy with that kind of progress. So jumped him. Yeah, he knocked it quite a few times. He was kind of trying to figure it out. If we didn't get a good stride to the pole, it was carnage. He just isn't able to figure out where to put his legs, and that's just fair. Like, he's never done it before, he doesn't understand, so he just has to learn that. But then we took away those canter poles and made them just ground lying and jumped over it, and he gave me the best feeling. I don't have a video of it, but I have a picture of it which I'll put in now. Yeah, he gave me a really, really good jump, so he's definitely getting it and realizing how to jump, because he doesn't want to hit the poles. He genuinely doesn't. So yeah, he's definitely going to try and figure out a way not to hit those poles. So then we moved on to cross country. I only jumped that little cross pole in the show jumping. Then we moved up to cross country, and he was good again. He the first few jumps he saw, he was stopping and he was very, very worried about them. But then as the day went on and the more things he saw, he got braver and braver. And by the end, he was jumping things first time, jumping bigger logs first time. Yeah, really, really good. So his confidence definitely gained leaps and bounds over the course of the schooling session. So that's definitely all I could ask for. And he also threw in a few very nice jumps. Again, he's learning. So the plan for next week, for this week, because it's now Monday, is that I'm going to do a lot of lunging, and then on Saturday we have our first lesson. So where we went schooling, there's a lesson there. I've entered the 45 centimeter class, which is like, yeah, kind of funny, but I did enter it when he wouldn't even trot over a pole. So I think that's fair enough that I didn't have very high hopes for him. But now in hindsight, I probably could have entered something a bit bigger. But I think it'll be good. It'll be a good chance to work on our flatwork and everything. And yeah, our rideability to the fences. It doesn't really matter how high they are at the moment, because he just needs to be a little bit more rideable. So yeah, we'll have that at the end of the week, which will be really exciting. And then we'll probably go for a hack Sunday or something like that. So that is the aim for the week. I also entered my first show on him, which is in November. I actually entered 2 shows, the 6th of November and the 14th of November, I think. So exciting times. We need to be able to do a dressage test by then. So we need to work on this cantering situation and we'll be flying. So yeah, I'm so excited, and I hope you guys are too. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.